Hey guys, Max 150. It's been a pretty shitty night today. Thank God it's heavy-zooka mania, so that way I haven't spent a fortune on diamonds. But man, I have been really sucking tonight, and my activity log is just full of losses, full of failed attacks. I mean, yeah, a lot of these were actually no, they're all real attacks. Look at them. I mean, a bunch of these were GBE attacks, but for the great majority of them, these were all real attacks. And man, have I been just sucking tonight, man. I hate myself. I mean, look at all of these are fails, fails. It's not because these bases are particularly difficult. It's just me. I'm just off tonight. I'm not doing well, and it's just really frustrating. But anyhow, some of these are, I guess, some of these attacks are decent, I suppose, even though I'm like the worst player ever. But we can take a look at some of these. Heavy-zooka, as you can imagine, there's a couple of RCCM attacks, because not every zooka is ideal for, not every base is ideal for heavy-zooka. This base is like super easy, just because I don't know how much ice he had. He has like a couple of masterpieces maybe. I think it was only like 2 ice, so I mean it couldn't be any easier, and I even struggled with this kind of base. I mean, yeah, this base only took me 1 try, so it wasn't too bad. But then again, I'm fully boosted with 4 offensive statues, and this base only had 2 little eyes, and I still lost all of my heavies in this particular raid. So I don't know. It's just terrible night for me. So smoke all the troops all the way to the back there, next to the sniper tower. Let the Zookas kind of catch up in there. And then we're going to throw a reflare because I want the Zookas behind the heavies when they start attacking. So flare straight to the mortar. Pack of critters and 1 shock. I'm not sure if I should have shocked the machine gun. Maybe I should have done the flamethrower here, but then again, I mean, I don't even think I know what I was doing tonight. So there they go. Just give the Zookas a little chance of clearing up all the buildings, including the shield generator, before they can start moving on to the base. So I just threw shocks on the boom cannons and shock blaster, because those things can just kill my heavies easily. And from then on, I was just kind of waiting. I hated that this big patch of Zookas just kind of deviated away from the main group, but anyways, I flew straight to the HQ and shocked the shot launcher mortar combo there. Not a lot of heavies left. In fact, there was only 1 heavy. He's about to go down, and I won only because of the sheer number of Zookas that I had left, and because I am super boosted. But otherwise, I don't think I could have done this base. Oh man, it's just, I feel so disgusted with myself right now. Seriously, it's one of those awful days. So that was the first base. I don't even know how to read this guy's name. So let's move on to the next base. Man, so look how many times I struggle with these bases. So also here, left hand, one of those bases that we've taken down many times. 10 ice statues, masterpieces boosted. It's easy now because he has a doom cannon as opposed to a laser beam. I mean, with a laser beam, there's no margin for error. You have to be very precise in everything you do. Otherwise, that laser beam will just cut through all your troops and die. The doom cannon here, I mean, it'll kill all your heavies in 1 single shot, but because it's a single shooter and it doesn't penetrate the troops, my Zookas are just fine. And pretty much all of my Zookas made it all the way to where I needed them to go, which is right next to the shot launcher there. We spent 5 smokes getting them there. Gather a little bit of gunboat energy in the front, if you notice that. Wait for those Zookas to kind of catch up. And as soon as they get under that last smoke, then we flare early to the shield generator. Let all the defenses kind of focus on those heavies. And then once the smoke uncovers, the Zookas will just blast down the shield generator. And that's when we throw another smoke. Well, a couple of smokes actually. And then re-flare towards the HQ. That flare was not good. I mean, look how little bit of smoke was left covering those troops. And yet another mistake that I made. Flare straight to the HQ, and then just a couple of shocks strategically, just to kind of, protect the troops. And I didn't even know I had enough gunboat energy, so I threw those critters because I saw that I had enough for a pack of critters. So that worked, but it's not like it only took me 1 try for this base. It took me a few tries, which kind of, it just adds on. I'm glad I took him down because, this is a pretty tough base, at least in my opinion. 10 ice is never that easy. But his layout is not great. That's why I'm able to beat him. Lordum's base, which one was this? I can't remember. 7 ice statues, only 1 masterpiece boosted. Again, see, these bases are actually very easy. I mean, it hardly has any ice, but I still just struggle. Not on this particular one. This one did take me only one try, so I'll admit, this one I was able to beat on my first try. So I took down the machine gun on the left side of the HQ. The HQ's left side, our right side, in case you're nitpicking. Put down all the heavies, 2 boats of heavies, 4 boats of Zookas, and the last 2 boats of heavies at the end. Let them take down the quarry just for a little bit of extra gunboat energy, and then start smoking them all the way to where that machine gun used to be. I left a little bit of gap there. Yeah, even my smokes kind of suck today. 2 smokes at the end, and then I was getting ready to reflare. Just about right there next to the boom cannon, as close as possible, and then reflare again to the flamethrower critters, and a couple of shocks on all the splash damage. I missed the 2 flamethrowers, as you can see there. Again, terrible timing, terrible gaming. I don't know, maybe it's the mental pressure of having heavy-zooka mania that kind of makes me think that, oh, I need to like do better or play faster, and that kind of just ruins it. Also, in this raid, I got really lucky because there's 2 heavies right there behind the HQ. If you guys can see them, those 2 heavies are just protecting all of those Zookas from the shot launcher, the mortar, and the rocket launcher. Had it not been for those 2 heavies in there, I would have lost all of my troops already. So, yet again, a very lucky try for me. I did not intend for those heavies to be in the back there. They just happened to be there. Saved my raid, saved my Zookas. But then again, he only had 1 defensive building damage, and it was not boosted, so of course my troops are going to last a little bit longer than usual. So that was Lordum's base, yet another easy base where I made a lot of mistakes. And then something Dogs World, that's what it says in this thing, I'm not too sure. This was probably one of the best raid of the night because it was 6 boosted ice statues. But then again, he had a shock blaster as opposed to a laser beam, so if it was a laser beam, I'm not sure I would have beaten it, but who cares. So I took down the machine gun behind the HQ to make space for the final, turn that into the final kill zone. Let the troops take down the 2 sniper towers in the front, and then smoke them very carefully around the flamethrower, which is always very tricky when you're smoking around, when you're walking Zookas around a flamethrower. Couple more smokes just to get them all the way towards the end there. Right there, in between the lab, the weapons lab, and the rocket launcher, waiting for those Zookas to kind of catch up, and then we're going to throw that flare right onto the shield generator. See a couple of Zookas stepped out of that smoke, and as soon as the smoke clears, I throw the 2nd and 3rd smoke right there, and then the flare afterwards. And notice how that 1 shot kind of got me, and all of my Zookas are red already. And I don't think I had a lot of GBE left at this point, maybe like 40, 42. So just enough to flare straight in the HQ critters, and only 2 shocks. And fortunately for me, I was able to shock this shot launcher and the rocket launcher together. I tried it a couple of times before this one, and I actually failed because I wasn't shocking properly, and I missed one of those 2 defenses, and obviously that would just get straight into my Zookas. So yeah, this was the best base. I mean, 6 boosted ice, but then his layout was not great, and I don't know. I'm just not happy with myself tonight. Anyhow, IDX's base. So from here, we did change to RZCM. Like I said, not every base is better suited for heavy-zooka, even though they're cheap. This was another very easy base because I think he only had 2 ice. They were both boosted. There it is. There's one of them. Yeah, right there. But not a lot of ice, certainly not, and so it was pretty easy. So I took down 2 of the rocket launchers behind the HQ, and this guy has the shield generator in the front. And if you see some of my videos before, I always think that putting the shield in front of the HQ has always been a pretty terrible idea, and you'll see why. So at this point, I wasn't concerned because everything in the front, the first line of defense, they're all sniper towers, cannons, everything is single shot, which is perfectly fine for RZCM. My troops are spread out super wide, and now I can start throwing shocks on the shot launcher, critters on those mines, and just kind of let my troops eat away at the base. But then again, I am fully boosted. This base is not boosted, only has 2 boosted eye, which is really nothing. So that's why I was able to just overpower the base without a lot of strategy. I mean, I did lose a lot of troops though, but it didn't matter. So critters on that shot mine, just kind of let them keep on walking, moving slowly into the base. Another shock on the flamethrower, and a medkit in front of the other flamethrower on the left side. The troops are finally taking down the shot launcher and the And the shield generator, there it goes. That's why I don't like it, because now that the shield is gone, now all the troops are standing literally in front of the HQ, free shooting at it. And I could have reflared. I don't think I did. I kind of just waited it out. I mean, that group of Zookas in the front were just shooting at everything. So yeah, this was a pretty easy base. IDX. I wish I got more easy bases. So thank God for those, and thank God the Zookas are 90% off. Otherwise, I would have wasted, you know, a huge fortune on that today. So IDX. Now the next base. I'm not sure how to read his name, but whatever. 6 ice statues, I think. Yeah, 3 of them boosted. Double shielded. This was the only double shielded base I have tonight, I think. But anyways, I took down 2 of the rocket launchers and then put down all the troops in here. And I ordinarily would have wasted 1 artillery shell on some of those mines in front there. But I learned from my friend Come Back, to just let some of those rifles just eat those mines away. It'll say you lose a few rifles, but you'll save a ton of gunpowder energy that way. I mean, after all, after taking down 2 rocket launchers and having to flare and smoke these guys, I barely had any GBE left at the end. Just enough for 1 pack of critters and 1 shock. And you'll see it right about there. There goes the critters. 1 shock on the rocket launcher. The critters will distract the shot launcher itself. And as I'm gathering more GBE, there goes a 2nd pack of critters. I decided to throw it this time on the, not critters, the shock. This time throw the shock on the mortars, because, you know, 4 mortars surrounding the HQ was deadly. Once the rocket launcher went down, then I was able to flare all the troops to the right side. That pack of critters was an absolute mistake. Yet again, I think I tapped it with the bottom of my palm. And man, it's just so off tonight. It's disgusting, really. But anyways, there I reflare to the top, try to get a little bit more GBE. And, you know, I still had a pretty fair amount of troops, which is what really helped me in this particular raid. But again, it's not like this only took me 1 try. It took me like 5 or 7 tries. And then from here on, we're going to throw 1 shock on the 2 mortars and flamethrower and let the troops just kind of move in. Critters to distract the last shot launcher. It's a lot easier when you're only facing 1 shot launcher as opposed to 2 of them, because 1 of them, you know, the troops can keep on moving. With 2 shot launchers shocking you simultaneously, it is just impossible to move your troops along. From here on, those 3 critters in the front there, they saved my troops, because the mortars, the shot launchers, the boom cannon, everything got fixated on those critters in the front there. I don't know how is it that they lasted so long, but they did, and my troops were just non-stop shooting at the HQ. Again, I'm winning tonight based on pure luck, really. And there goes the shock. Right on my troops. Half of them are still shooting, which is good. And thank God that's just because there's only 1 shot launcher. But anyway, I mean, the HQ came down, but I don't know. Not really the strategy I was planning on to. I kind of improvised towards the end there, but it worked out. So I'll take the VPs. Let's see. So Allure Hey Haze is the next base that spawned on my map tonight. It's a pretty recent spawn. This time he has a lot less ice than before. So only 6 ice statues, but only 2 of the masterpieces were boosted. Back then he used to have 3 or 4, and when he was pushing he had all of them boosted, obviously. So I took down the rocket launcher on the left side as usual, and pre-smoked the beach, because this rocket launcher would have shocked my troops right on the landing craft, which is not something I really wanted to. There were another couple of mines behind the cannons there, but I didn't want to waste another artillery shell. As it is, I already wasted 6 smokes just to get the troops, you know, halfway through the base. What I did have to do this time though was throw critters, and then a couple of shocks on the 2 rocket launchers, flamethrower obviously, and more critters to distract the shot launchers. And I just basically waited for the troops to try to clear up all the rocket launchers. They did take a little longer than I wanted to, so I was forced to throw a 2nd shock on the laser beam here, and then another one on the shot launcher in the bottom there, because, you know, they just weren't taking down the base fast enough. And then from here on, nothing more I could do. Thank God all those buildings kind of ended in there, so that group of troops just kind of decided to walk towards the HQ and help out. And from here on, I didn't have anything. I think I overthrew like 5 shocks. No GBA for anything except for medkits. So I was kind of waiting to see some troops, the health of some of my troops red, and then that's when I would start throwing the med kit. So right there goes the med kit. Shield generator goes down, thank goodness. And the Zookas in the back are still shooting at it. So that was great because I was losing riflemen like flies, literally. But there goes. Allure Hey. It took me a few tries because the first try I was trying to just walk the troops from the side here all the way to the top, to the left side, take down the shield generator, but that was just so time consuming and it really just didn't work out very well. But yeah, so that was Allure Hey, and that was the last PvP I was able to beat. All of the other ones, it's just failed tries, failed attempts. I mean, obviously it didn't help out that these people are always online, so every time I try to attack, people are online. Oh, so he's offline now. This base has 7 ice statues, masterpiece is boosted, but delay is what makes it tricky. So I'm going to keep on trying tomorrow, we'll see. Because the other thing that didn't help is that my boost ran out. So my offensive boost is completely gone and I'm kind of tired. So I'm just going to leave it at that tonight. 1,777 victory points, which is not bad. And actually one thing that I didn't mention yet on my videos, because I didn't even know I got there, but I am already number 10 in the global leaderboard. So I did make it to top 10, which is pretty great. I hadn't even realized it. I got there like 2 days ago. But from now on, the gap is huge. I mean, the next person above me is 1809 and then 1813, and from then on it's just 1900 and 2000. So you know what, the goal that I had proposed to myself more recently was to make it to global number 10 or top 10 in the world and then quit, but we made it there a little sooner than I expected, I suppose. So we're gonna try to keep pushing just a little bit more. I don't know for how much longer, but I'm pretty happy with where I am right now, and it's just such a grind, and nights like tonight really don't help. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I am still playing. I will keep on playing tomorrow. I do have TRM training, for tomorrow morning. We'll see. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it at. And yeah, there's a couple of bases, but I can't. This base, there's no way I can beat. Not with 4 offensive statues anyways. He has 10 eyes, 7 of them boosted. So it's not hard enough that I can beat bases with 7 boosted eyes. This one has 10. So come on, really, guy. This is what I'm going to do when I'm done pushing. I'm going to put 10 ice statues and I'm going to boost all of them. Probably. We'll see how I feel. And then this is the last base, which is, they don't look that hard. I mean, this one does have 7 ice statues. And oh my god, this one, his boost ran out there. I'm going to kill myself. Now, I don't have the boost to attack. But he's probably online. And he's not online, huh? Look at that. Ugh, whatever. And we have a new spawn. Alright, I think that's enough. I'm just jabbering and it's just, all upset talking. So I'm going to end the video there. I'll see you guys next time, guys. Take care now. Bye.